Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm Mary, the OG Woo Woo Therapist, and I want to welcome you to this week's episode recorded in my functional but versatile home office that is 1 block from the interstate where traffic noise is a real thing and can be disruptive. So I apologize in advance for any noise disruptions. And as usual, I have to tell you that everything I talk about today is not intended to take the place of counseling or therapy. It is only for educational purposes. If you relate to any of the information, do not self-diagnose or diagnose anyone else. If you are disturbed by it, seek a professional to talk to. So this week, I'm veering a little off course with clients' suggested topics and thought I would talk about one of my own. Okay, be honest. Have you ever sent a text or started a text, stared at it for 30 seconds, deleted it, rewrote it, added an emoji, removed the emoji because it felt like too much, sent it, and then immediately thought, that sounded weird? That sounded so weird? Yeah, same here. And my final thought on it is that if they don't know I'm weird by now. So welcome back to the podcast. Today we're talking about things we're all quietly insecure about, but absolutely refuse to admit out loud or to ourselves or anyone else. Like the tiny thoughts that pop up into your head at 2 a.m. The ones that sound irrational, a little dramatic, but also weirdly universal. There have been a lot of social media videos that have come up about the things that come to mind when I'm trying to sleep. Like my personal one, if I'm counting sheep when I can't sleep, what do sheep count? And I know that's a crazy question, but it is one that I have thought about at night while I'm trying to sleep. This is not a self-help episode. I'm not fixing you today or suggesting that you need to be fixed. You're not broken. We're just exposing the group chat in our brains that sometimes can have many voices or just one, but they're all mine. Because if I've learned anything, it's that most of us are walking around thinking things like, am I annoying? Did I say too much? Do people actually like me? Or am I just there? Do they think I'm dressing weird? And the funniest part, everyone else is thinking the exact same thing most of the time. So today, we're going to go through social insecurities, appearance, productivity, personality, all of it. We'll laugh at a little, call it out, and maybe even make it feel a tiny bit less powerful. If you hear yourself in any of these, congratulations, you're normal. All right, let's get to it. Let's start with probably the most universal category, social insecurities. Social anxiety is basically your brain running a full documentary about something no one else noticed or will even care about. There are so many times that I go into situations where I don't know anyone, and I feel terribly awkward because I am an introvert. I want to be invited everywhere, but I am not really going to go. And that is mostly since I don't know how to, or at least don't do, small talk very well. I don't know how to do superficial chat with someone and be engaging. Now, my friends, family, and clients will tell you otherwise, but they are not casual acquaintances or strangers. I leave social situations and start telling myself everything I should have said. I don't need enemies when I have my own post-conversation analysis. Now, tell me why I can hang out with someone for 2 hours, have a great time, laugh, connect, and everything feels normal. And then the second I leave, my brain is like, why did you say that? Why did you do that? And in my head, it sounds like, let's review everything you said and did. in explicit detail. Why did you say that? Why did you do that? Why did you say it like that? That joke didn't land, so stop trying to be funny. You made eye contact for way too long. They'll think you're too intense. And the coup de grace, am I annoying? Sometimes I will say a sentence in a group and then go silent for the next 45 minutes to rebalance my presence. Once a month, my family has a support squad call, which all of the family members are included on a Zoom call. And we're there because I have a sister who has stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. So we get together once a month so that we can all chat and engage and be social with my sister. A lot of times I feel like I am on the outside of the group, especially the group conversations. And when I do know something about what they're talking about, I feel like I'm intruding on the conversation. Or on the other hand, I am unmedicated for my ADHD, which is a whole thing, and I will interrupt people so I don't forget what I wanted to say. A lot of people find this very disconcerting. And this is more when I am in a conversation with one person, because sometimes with more than one person, I'm not keeping up with what's being said because too much is being said and I can't process it all. And I wonder if they think I wasn't listening or if I'm just always that rude. And then when I'm trying to be funny or engaging, the second someone doesn't laugh, I'm like, okay, that was my last public appearance. I will never show my face here again. Thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about texting anxiety. Why does okay in a text message feel aggressive? A lot of times I'll send texts to family members or other people that I know, and I'll get okay in response. And sometimes I look at that and go, are they angry with me? Are they trying to get rid of me? Do they not want to talk to me? Or are they just agreeing with me? The other thing is there are at least 17 emotional meanings behind LOL, and we all just understand them, or at least you do. But I don't always, and I get myself in embarrassing situations because I don't understand the texting abbreviations and the new interpretations of some of the emojis. I understand that now I can't even suggest eggplant for dinner without it meaning something else. It's crazy how easy it is to step in it with texting without even know you're stepping in it. I will text something that I think is funny and get the response, ha ha, yeah. Internally, I'm thinking, they hate me. That was a pity laugh. This friendship is hanging by a thread. They think I'm weird. Or when I'm leaving a hangout with a friend, the second I leave, I replay the entire event like game footage, like I'm watching myself thinking, interesting choice there, bold choice there. And it's not just social situations, because the second we're alone, the second I'm alone, my brain finds something else to analyze. And sometimes the place it will go is my appearance and how I compare myself to others sometimes. But for me, I don't even compare myself to other people really anymore. I compare myself to versions of me from earlier that day. Sometimes I feel so inconsistent with myself that I look in the mirror and ask myself, who are you? Or what are you wearing? Something that is ever more present is mirrors versus the camera. I have never seen a photo of myself and thought, yes, that is exactly what I look like. I quite frankly hate seeing myself in photos. I think to myself, do I really look like that? Some would say that the mirror is supportive and the camera is honest in a hostile way. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Have you ever had a bad photo spiral where one bad picture can ruin your personality for 3 to 5 business days? I'll be like, who is that? That's not me. That doesn't even look like me. Delete that immediately. And then, speaking of pictures and recorded versions or things, there's social media comparison. I particularly like the videos on social media of what I ordered versus what I actually got, and where they show what it looks like on them compared to the picture of what it looked like on the model. I know it's curated, I know it's edited, and yet I'm like, wow, I should probably move to Italy and fix my life. Now, this is a personal concern for me since I wear my hair very short, and that is haircut anxiety. I wear it short, and I have cowlicks that make certain areas harder to tame. And I was always concerned about looking like alfalfa on the little rascals with the one cowlick in the back, making my hair stick straight up. So I ask you, did you ever get a haircut and need 48 hours to emotionally process it? Or have you ever thought, like, I just need to sit here with this new identity for a second? A lot of times I hear a lot that the difference between a good haircut and a great haircut is 3 weeks. And when I hear that, I think to myself, they hate my haircut. They think my haircut is ugly. They think this makes me look ugly. Those are the places my brain goes when it comes to haircut anxiety. Not too long ago, well, I guess actually back in the 70s when the shag became a thing, like the Farrah Fawcett shag became a thing, I went to beauty school and asked for a shag haircut. And when she was cutting my hair, I noticed that it was looking more like a bowl cut on top and long in the back. It looked more like a bowl cut mullet. And I thought to myself, it's like, oh my God, this isn't what I asked for at all. But I didn't think I could ask for anything else because it was an instructor that was cutting my hair. So I was appalled when I walked outside with that haircut. And I stood at the bus stop and cried for like 5 minutes because it was such a bad haircut. And when I got home, I had to convince my husband that he needed to give me more money so I could go have that haircut fixed. It was just so horrible. It was the worst thing that ever happened to me in my life with a haircut. And then when we're not thinking about how we look, we're not thinking about our haircuts or our appearance, we're thinking about what should we be doing? Which leads us to productivity insecurities. When did resting become something like we feel like we have to earn instead of something we literally need? I don't know about you, but I can actually feel guilt while resting. I will tell myself that I should be doing something, not just sitting here. Or I'll relax for 10 minutes and then suddenly I'm like, should I be becoming a better person right now? Why does doing nothing feel illegal? Then, with productivity, we have comparison timelines. These go like this. There's always someone younger doing more. And I'm like, I made my bed today, so there's that. Then there are the societal fake life timelines, like by 25, own a house, by 27, achieve inner peace, by 30, understand taxes emotionally. I missed all of these. At 25, I was having babies and being a military wife. At 27, I found out I was pregnant again and still a military wife. And by 30, I was the mother of 3 with 2 in elementary school and a toddler. I didn't find inner peace until well into my 40s, and I still don't understand taxes emotionally. So now, the thing I'd like to talk about in terms of resting, we have the Sunday anxiety. If weekends are meant for rest, Sunday is meant to change all of that. There is nothing like Sunday anxiety that can ruin a good day of baseball or football. Do any of you have the notion that Sunday at 4 p.m. is not a time? It's a feeling? Nothing ruins a fun weekend like Sunday evening. I'm convinced that is why when I was a kid, The Wonderful World of Disney was on television at 6 or 7, because it was the last fun thing of the weekend before going to school the next day. It made going to bed on Sunday night about Disney, not about getting up early for school the next day. And after all of that, we start questioning something even deeper. We begin to question our personality and our identity. Although there have been many questions that I have asked when working myself over mentally about all the other topics that I've talked about, I haven't quite gone deep enough with my casual thoughts to who do I think I am? For the longest time, when I first started as a therapist, I had a profound experience with the imposter syndrome. At the end of each session, I would be surprised that the client stayed for the whole session. I would tell myself things like, I'm not fake, I'm just situationally adjusted. And I certainly could not let them give me credit for feeling better at the end of the session. Now, when a client tells me they feel better, my answer is good, you deserve it. Then there is the idea of different personalities that come out depending on who I'm with or what I'm doing. I have a different personality depending on who I'm texting. The work me, calm and professional. The friend me, slightly unhinged but supportive. Then the question of, am I boring? I'll say I'm boring and then go home and do exactly what I wanted to do. As an introvert, I always think I'm boring to an extrovert because they tell me I am. The constant comments about staying at home too much, not hanging out, doing things by myself, and not answering the phone when they call. I need my silence and my solitude. They call it isolation. I call it peaceful and serene. Then we have a thing called identity mismatch, where there's the version of me in my head and then the version that comes out in a conversation. And sometimes they do not coordinate and they do not match. In my mind, I am a good conversationalist and a delight to talk to. But when I'm in conversation, I interrupt and get on tangents. Not as delightful as I think. I also go on the self-awareness spiral. I think being self-aware is great until I become aware of everything. And that awareness that I have just spoken about are the things that sometimes make me wish I wasn't so self-aware. Okay, this next part. These are things people definitely don't overthink. And these are on a more serious note. Here is my confessions segment. These are completely unique thoughts that only a few people have, in my opinion. Definitely not everyone. And after all of that, here's the part we don't usually say out loud. I assume everyone secretly dislikes me unless they explicitly say otherwise. And that has everything to do with my introvertedness. The next one, and this one needs to be studied, I panic after sending voicemails. Voicemails feel like sending my personality as an attachment. And then I feel like I tricked people into liking me. I have imposter syndrome, not professionally anymore, but socially. I can really rake myself over the coals with, why did they invite me? They don't really want me to go. They don't really want me here. I'm not a good conversationalist. All those things that I just talked about that go through my mind in any given moment of any given day. And that's what makes me feel like an imposter. As a therapist, I go to a lot of conventions and conferences. And as an introvert, that has never served me well to be an introvert in a community of 500 to 7,000 therapists, all gathered to acquire new training and learn new skills. We're all there for the same thing, but somehow my introvertedness interferes with my ability to have polite conversation. So I have developed a self-survival way of being in those situations. And my survival skill is when I see somebody walking towards me that looks like they're determined to speak to me, I speak to them first. I say, "Hi, is this your first time here? And what have you found interesting so far? And do you think you'll be coming back next year?" And by the time they get done answering all of that, our time to speak is over and I have escaped unscathed. Which a lot of people think that because I do that, that I have a wonderful social skill and that I'm engaging and interesting. However, I have not said one word about myself. All I've done is getting them to talk about themselves. And that is my survival skill as an introvert. So, if your brain sounds like this sometimes, it doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. It just means you're human and maybe a little dramatic, which is fine. We all are. The big thing to remember is that most people are not analyzing you. They're too busy analyzing themselves, thinking the exact same things that you're thinking. But the things that you think make you too much or not enough are usually the things that make you you. And the thoughts that feel the loudest, remember, they're usually not the most accurate. You're not the only one thinking these things. You're just one of the few willing to admit it. Anyway, go send that text and leave that voicemail. It's probably fine. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you liked this episode today, please give it a like and consider subscribing. I will be back next week with another client-suggested topic. So have a good week, and remember, my friends, stay woo-woo.